And okay, we're gonna start. All righty. Okay. Well, hello again. This is the Zoom with CBD Ed. Another topic which I'm grateful to deliver to this community. The topic today, we started off with this conversation of the cabinet. What is that place you have in your home where all your wellness products are? Your wellness products, including vitamins, or how Ian might put it, your vitamins. They also include would also include your antacids and cold medications and pain medications and such as that. So this cabinet in your home, well, the likelihood is every home in America would have one of these. And I am not talking about the medicine cabinet where your prescription drugs are. I'm talking about this cabinet that does not have those, but has everything else in it. All right, now why did this conversation come up? Well, my whole family got the cold over the last couple of days. And, we don't get sick very often, but boy, we were all down. And the first thing we did was went to our health cabinet. That's what we're calling it, a health cabinet. And started pouring through it. And after I had done that, and this is what I normally like to do, I like to question the status quo. I like to question what everybody's telling me. And so I did that. I started looking at all the products I was taking for my cold and then recognizing other products in my health cabinet. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. It's what I think most of us know, but I go in and actually get the real data and, try to make a empowered decision of what the heck's going to be in my cabinet from now on. All right. Now, again, this is a place in your home, if you can think about it, and sometimes it's a drawer or a cabinet, and usually everyone in your family knows where it is, and that's where these items are. Now, why is this a concern anyway? Well, here's why. Your medicine cabinet was always treated with respect, but this commonplace, not so much. It generally has stuff in there that you have gotten familiar with over the years. It's very easy to get over the counter. And so maybe the concerns aren't there. This is a friendly and a safe space. But through studies and clinical trials, we do know that there's compounds in there that do have health risks that are worth talking about. So let's talk about what's in the cabinet. All right, so pain relievers, cough and cold medications, antacids, digestive aids, first aid items like Band-Aids, sleep aids, vitamins and supplements, eye drops, skincare like rashes and sunblocks. Pardon me, I have a cold. Okay, these are the common things in there. Most of these are fairly harmless, but there's a few in here that have issues. And these issues have been known for years and have not been dealt with. And I think it's very concerning sometimes. Let's talk about some of those issues. Pain reliever is the one that's spoken about the most. There's been bans in other countries. There's been warnings, but they tend to still show up over the counter. Pain relievers, pros. Well, they're convenient because they're readily available. You can go into any department store, drugstore, it doesn't matter, and there's 20 different selections of them. They're very cost effective. $16 to $18 is what I was able to discover. $6 to $18. And then the big thing is we are familiar with them. Bare aspirin. How familiar can you get with something? All right, here are the cons. The cons are there's limitations to its ability to relieve. In my world, we call this a single molecule solution. In other words, it goes in and it targets a very single issue, oftentimes throwing the rest of your system out of balance. And then that, what we call is out of homeostasis, can cause other issues to happen. And the entire time that it's dealing with that single molecule solution. It's trying to bring the body back to homeostasis, which another reason why it has limited relief. The other thing, aspirin, ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, Aleve are all NSAIDs. Now that conversation has been out forever. Both Kim and myself have, we have a fun life. So backaches and all that. And, popping I'll just say it out loud, an 800 milligram ibuprofen was not something uncommon when I was younger. And so you read up on the studies now, and you'll find that gastrointestinal bleeding and acute kidney danger or acute kidney injury are the two big things with NSAIDs. Now, we knew that, but what the studies revealed today was it's more so for aging population. So the older we get, the bigger this issue becomes. So I feel better than I've done when I did NSAIDs with the alternatives that I've taken. So Kim and I haven't done a NSAID in 6 years, maybe. All right. So that's pain relievers. Let's go to cold medications. Cold medications, again, pros are symptom relief. I'm a testament to that. I got them all. I literally had at least 7 different arsenals of products sitting in front of me 3 days ago. And yes, symptom relief and convenience, absolutely. So I went to the store. I had 3 people tell me what to buy. Family members sharing everything. So convenient, and the store had everything. Now, when we say cost, maybe not so. I think I might have walked out of that store with a bill of about $50. And I've heard, and it probably could have been more if I didn't buy some of the off-brand stuff. So, okay, so Mucinex, $30 or $29. I'm like, wow. Okay, anyway. And then comes with options and varieties. Absolutely, those are the pros. The cons. So when I went to Google Scholar and pulled this one up, the abundance of clinical reviews were all on this next statement, not suitable for all ages. Apparently, there has been an increase in children under the age of 12 using this, and it has some really poor side effects. And in one study I had read, they had asked 83% of parents if they would administer a cold medication to a child they asked a large group of parents if they would administer a cold remedy to a child under the age of 12, and 80% said yes. I thought that was surprising. They had 6,000 reported cases that were dealing with some type of overuse of cough medicine, and the number of them that were below 12 were so high that FDA stepped in and put a new warning in last year. So I'm only sharing because I would have thought it was fairly harmless too, and apparently it's become a big issue. So kids under 12, not very many cold remedies out there that do not say this is for kids under 12, unless it was specifically a pediatric brand. All right, the other one is should not be used with those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or thyroid problems. So, excuse me. Wow, where's my arsenal at? Okay, the other one I have digestive aids. And when I think of those, there are 2 to come to mind. One is, and I had this experience, Tums. You leave a stressful life, popping 2 or 3 Tums a day is not out of line until that first kidney stone wants to come out. And that was the last time I did those. And there is plenty of data that supports that. So the accumulation of minerals in Tums that are used to effectively calm down your digestion also will accumulate and cause kidney stones. The other one are the acid blockers. There's a lot of studies out there about acid blockers creating a nutrition deficiency, because acid is a pretty important component And I realize we're trying to decrease it. And by the way, when you use these acid blockers, sometimes they're also hiding the real issue. But the one thing I didn't get a whole lot of information on is the products that they banned a few years ago, pulled off the shelf. So they did a pretty good job of hiding all that data. And I didn't have enough time to dig into it. But some of those acid blockers were literally pulled off the shelf. Now, if I recall, that was 3 years ago. And so I wouldn't expect those to still be in the market, nor do I would expect them to still be in anybody's cabinet, but it's possible. Take a look at them. All right. So let's tell you what I came from this. So I asked the question, well, what can you do about this? And it seems most of the physicians agree that infrequency of those things in your health cabinet is probably the best. If you do not have to take those antacids frequently, if you do not have to take the pain relievers frequently, then do not. It seems that most of the health issues on all three of these were about overuse. Now, anytime I went to their sites, Tylenol, all their sites, their only claim was follow the directions. But their directions were still pretty light, because if I took their doses on a daily basis and I did it for 30 days, studies were showing that I was going to have a problem. The other one, how about alternatives? So, and when I say infrequency, so I am a student of the endocannabinoid system, and I'm very aware of that system being capable of managing so many things that we currently take over-the-counter prescriptions for. It's very capable of keeping you in a state of homeostasis where you would less succumb to some of these issues. And so keeping your ECS system in check, and I might be a little biased because I know so much about it, seems to be the way to consume in less frequency some of these things in your health cabinet. And alternatives too. My wife has done a really good job of going to holistic. We have now fungi in there, mushroom products that have different things on mood and energy. And I know mushrooms are becoming a hot topic. I think you still have to be concerned about them, because there's two sides of that coin. They can also be very dangerous. You don't know what you're doing. Our Cannafyl product, I'll tell you a story. So our house has always been an open house. So friends and family alike can just walk in, and you can help themselves. And we've always had, friends and family just can walk into our little health cabinet and, hey, can I grab a Tylenol? Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have that? Yeah, and help yourself. And over the years, especially since I've started Cannafyl, I've started putting our Cannafyl products up there. And I noticed that, and I noticed this over the last 3 or 4 years, that they stopped grabbing the and there's not really any ibuprofens in there anyway. I think there's an Advil in there if I were to look in there. But anyway, they would grab stuff like the roll-on. I would have somebody, because they had a shoulder, they got back from baseball and their shoulder hurt, they would grab that instead. They would grab, I have a whole jar of gummies up there. If they had a stressful day or a hard test or anything, they would grab those. Everybody would ask me for sleep products. Nobody would ever, and everybody would complain afterwards when they used our sleep product that, oh, thank God, because melatonin was doing this, or Tylenol PM was causing this issue when I woke up in the morning, and so forth. So I'm bringing that as an alternative, but most important today was how important it is to recognize that our over-the-counter medications are not always the safest for us. And sometimes the regulatory agencies out there, whether they got their hands full or whatever, can let things slide. I know another instance of things that would land in your health cabinet would be sunblock. And for years, there have been 4 known carcinogens that have been used in sunblock. And it literally took when I say I've known this for years, I've known this for at least 15, and FDA did nothing about it until about 6 years ago. And how could Ed, with my limited access, know it and FDA not do something about it? So when I recognize these things, I want to project them into my health cabinet and share this with you, that it's worth a look, especially if you have people coming in and out of your house. Kim has designed a everyday bundle because of what we found in our, as people were accessing the our health cabinet. And she says, if you had something in there for relief, relax, and balance, you probably hit everybody's needs. And you'll probably notice that some of the over-the-counter items will start to not get used. So, and the relief, probably the most common one is the topical. That's who everybody goes for the most. Of course, we have a fast-moving family, so that's what everybody wants, is fast. The relax usually was always the tincture, and the balance was between the gummy and the tincture. Most, my wife and I used to balance a lot, but most of the people that dig into our health cabinet go for the gummies, probably because they're much easier. All right, so that is my presentation on something I stumbled on because family got a cold. And as I looked at my arsenal, once I pulled it all out and literally was taking it all, I went, wait a minute, I know a lot more here. Let me dig in. And then once I dug in, I wanted to share it with you guys. So that is the topic for today. I look forward to doing this again. Let me see if I can